I woke up to a miracle today. Triggers stay as I find my way. No judgment to lead astray. In this peaceful state of
Welcome back, everyone. We're diving back into the course today.
And this time we're at lesson 82.
Yeah, a review lesson. So we'll be taking a look back at what we've covered.
That's right. And to help us, we've got a couple of listener questions we'll be weaving in.
Okay, great. Well, first up is lesson 63.
The light of the world brings peace to every mind through my forgiveness.
All right, let's hear it.
The light of the world brings peace to every mind through my forgiveness. My forgiveness is the means by which the light of the world finds expression through me. My forgiveness is the means by which I become aware of the light of the world in me. My forgiveness is the means by which the world is healed together with myself. Let me then forgive the world that it may be healed along with me.
This excerpt frames forgiveness as something so much bigger than just personal grievances.
It suggests that forgiveness can actually heal the whole world. And it really emphasizes that we're all connected. When we choose to forgive, we're helping to create a more peaceful world for everyone.
Okay, so that brings us to our first listener question, which is, I can't stand my supervisor. She's overly critical, unfriendly, and plays favorites. I don't want to quit my job. How can I practice forgiveness to get through this?
This is something a lot of people struggle with.
It is.
And it highlights a common misunderstanding about forgiveness. You know, it's not about saying that someone's behavior is okay or pretending that everything's fine. It's about choosing to let go of the anger and resentment that we're holding on to.
So in this case, the listener could choose forgiveness not because her supervisor deserves it, but because she deserves peace.
Precisely. And that peace doesn't depend on the supervisor changing her behavior. It comes from within.
Remembering that light within ourselves.
Yes, and not letting external circumstances affect it. Taking back your power.
Now, the Course also suggests when you are upset at another, you are upset at a part of yourself you refuse to accept.
That's such an important point. Instead of only focusing on the supervisor's flaws, the listener might benefit from considering what those flaws are triggering in her.
What is she rejecting in herself?
Exactly. What truth is this situation forcing her to confront?
It shifts the focus from blaming to understanding.
And by understanding ourselves better, we open up the possibility for real forgiveness.
Of ourselves and others.
Yes.
Okay, let's move on to lesson 64 now. It's all about remembering our purpose.
It is. And let's hear the excerpt now. Let me not forget my function. I would not forget my function because I would remember myself. I cannot fulfill my function if I forget it, and unless I fulfill my function, I will not experience the joy that God intends for me.
These words are such a strong reminder that our function is tied to remembering who we really are.
Absolutely.
And that's how we experience true joy.
They point to the connection between purpose and fulfillment. When we forget our function, we kind of get lost in the ego's illusions.
And that leads to a feeling of emptiness.
Yeah, a lack of real joy.
Right. Well, we have another listener question here, and it fits perfectly with this concept of function.
Okay.
The question is, does lesson 64 mean my goal of becoming a successful rapper or an award-winning actor are incompatible with my function?
So how do we align our worldly ambitions with our spiritual purpose?
Exactly. And what does the Course have to say about this?
The Course doesn't condemn those kinds of worldly pursuits like art.
Okay.
It encourages us to look at our motivation. Are we doing it for fame and validation?
Or are we driven by something deeper?
Like a desire to express ourselves authentically and share our gifts.
So it's not about what we do, but why we do it.
Exactly.
The key is making sure that everything we do comes from a place of love.
And the desire to share that love.
Yeah, okay. So this listener who wants to be a rapper or an actor, they can still pursue those goals.
Right, they just need to check their motivation.
Make sure it's aligned.
Exactly, because true fulfillment comes from aligning our actions with our purpose, not from outer success.
Okay, so both lessons 63 and 64 offer some practice exercises to help us integrate these ideas.
Yeah, they do.
Lesson 63 suggests using specific forms like, let peace extend from my mind to yours,
Right.
or I share the light of the world with you.
Yes.
These affirmations help us to extend forgiveness and shift our perspective,
And another one is, through my forgiveness, I can see this as it is.
which highlights the power of forgiveness to see things clearly.
Exactly.
And then in lesson 64, the exercises suggest using forms like, let me not use this to hide my function from me.
Right.
Or I would use this as an opportunity to fulfill my function.
Yeah.
So we can see every experience as a chance to remember our purpose.
And act accordingly.
And then another affirmation is, this may threaten my ego, but it cannot change my function in any way.
Yeah. Reminding us that our function is unshakable. It's not dependent on what's happening outside of us.
Or on our ego spheres,
Our true purpose is always there.
just waiting for us to remember it. You know, forgiveness isn't just a path to inner peace. It's also essential to unlocking our function.
And then experiencing the joy that comes with that.
Right.
And remembering our function helps us stay connected to who we really are.
So we can approach the world with love and understanding.
Exactly.
So this deep dive has been a good reminder of how powerful forgiveness is and how important it is to stay connected to our true purpose.
Yeah. The Course emphasizes that we're not victims of the world, we're creators.
We have a choice.
And that's a very powerful reminder.
It is. Well, this has been a great discussion.
It has. I hope you've gotten something out of it.
Yeah. And remember, peace begins with forgiveness.
I